guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Paige and this is my open book. In today's video, this is going to be a doozy, so you definitely need a drink and a snack today. Trust me. We're going to go through every book that I gave a 5-star rating to in the year of 2023, and we're going to see, like, do I still agree that it's a 5-star? Do I regret giving it a 5-star? I'm also going to kind of do a reflection, because one thing that I wish I would have done this year that I'm definitely doing next year is I want to give like a 6-star category, because I feel like there are a lot of books that I give 5 stars to, but they're not like top tier books. You know what I mean? So I feel like I need to make a second or a separate tier for those books that like totally stand out above the rest and they deserve like an extra star. So I'm going to also kind of do that while we're talking. So grab a drink, grab a snack, and let's go through, because I have 75 books that I gave a 5-star rating to. So this is going to be a long one. I'm going to try and go through them pretty quickly, because I feel like a lot of them I can also like group together, because most of them are in like series, for example. So I feel like it'll go by quick. So well, let's get into it. I'm nervous. I feel like definitely at the beginning of the year, I was very generous with my ratings. So I feel like the beginning is going to have a lot of things that I regret giving a 5-star. I'm probably going to end up changing my rating on a lot of these, if I'm being honest. I feel like towards the end of the year, I was pretty good about like being accurate with my ratings. But at the beginning of the year, I was being very generous. So let's see. Okay, the first one is Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey. I feel like this is an unpopular opinion, because I've seen a lot of people say that this one is like cringy in their opinion. But I loved it. I think I am definitely going to leave this a 5-star for sure. I just love this book so much. So neither of them have been in a serious relationship, but they're going to pretend to be in a relationship together. And it's honestly really cute. I think what makes this not cringy for me is they actually show like that they're really trying to make this work. And they actually do a lot of check-ins with each other throughout the process. Like, what do you need from a girlfriend? Or what do you need from a boyfriend? Like, how can I be a better like relationship partner for you, because they're both kind of beginners. So I really like that aspect, and I haven't read the rest of this series yet, but I really enjoyed this one. So I think this is still a solid 5-star in my opinion. Okay, I apparently started this year off really strong. This is A Long Time Coming by Megan Quinn. Clearly I love this one because I got a signed illustrated copy of this book because I just had to have it. This is perfect because it is friends to lovers, which you guys know is one of my favorite tropes. Plus this also has some flashback scenes to when they first met in college, and they are like the cute, like geeky, nerdy friends together, and it's adorable. And she's actually engaged to somebody else, and he kind of has the wake-up call when he's helping her plan her wedding to this other guy, like, oh my god, I have feelings for her and now it's too late, like what am I gonna do? I love this. This is one of my favorite Megan Quinn books. This might go in my 6-star tier. I really think it might, because like I said, this is like a huge standout for me. Like, this is the epitome of friends to lovers and why I love this trope so much. I feel like this book actually made me discover this year how much I love that trope, because like before I didn't really realize that. So I think this is going to be a 6-star book, you guys. Next up we have Rebel Air by Jane Diamond. Oh, this is a great one. Okay, I have some really heavy hitters at the beginning of the year. I thought the beginning of the year was going to be a bunch of duds. But this one is so good. I think this one especially stood out to me because some of the newer Jane Diamond books that I've read haven't been as good, in my opinion, as the original Dirty series that she came out with. So that series is like a rock star romance. This one's kind of like a spin-off of one of the security guards of the band members. So this one is not really rock star focused. This one is more so like Mafia meets Motorcycle Club. And I think that's such a unique combo that a lot of books don't do. And it sounds like it will be too much, but Jane Diamond does it really well. Could that be a 6-star too? I think it might. I feel like I definitely want to do, I saw this idea from the Book Refuge. If you guys watch her, she does this every December. She will reread all of the books that she put in like her like 5-star, 6-star category to see if she still feels the same way about them. I really want to do that next year. I think that's what I'm going to do next December, is I'll like reread some of my favorites just to see like how they stack up against each other. Because I have really good impressions of this one in my head, but it's been so long since I've read it, so I wonder if it would still have the same impact today. I don't know. So maybe I shouldn't put it in the 6-star. I think a solid 5-star is a safe bet. Okay, this one's a bit of a surprise. Dirty Deeds by Lauren Landish. So I did love this book. I really did. But I have more memories of the fourth book in this series. This is the third book. I wonder why I didn't give the fourth book 5 stars. Because I feel like in my head, I like the fourth book more than the third book. So this is kind of surprising to me that I didn't have both of them under 5 stars. So this is another one where I'll have to like reread to see how I feel. Okay, these next two were rereads, so obviously they're pretty solid at 5 stars. They're probably also gonna go in the 6-star category, honestly. So we have Hold On to Hope by A.L. Jackson. This is one of my favorites by her. This is another childhood friends to lovers. This is also like a second chance romance too. So it's like 2 of my favorite tropes put together. So like, how can I not love it? Plus it's A.L. Jackson, my favorite author of all time. But what's cool about this book is that the male main character has a lot of like health issues, and one of them results in him being deaf. So I think one of the things that sets this book apart from other friends to lovers second chance romances is that they do have like their own like little things that they do to communicate with each other, and I just love it. The next one that was a reread that's like an old favorite, oldie but a goodie, is Tie Me Down by Melanie Harlow. This is another friends to lovers. And in this one, he's like a rancher, like cowboy, and she's coming back to the small town, and she's a single mom now. And just like the way that he accepts her son, because her son is kind of judged a lot by society because he doesn't like all of the typical manly things that boys are supposed to like when they're growing up. You know, he wears like pink cowboy boots and he likes to play with unicorn dolls. The male main character like embraces that and really like supports him despite how the rest of the town reacts. So this one was a pleasant surprise and I love it. I just love this one. Final Offer by Lauren Asher. Ooh, I forgot about that one. So I think the reason why I gave this a 5 stars, this is another friends to lovers second chance. Are we sensing a theme? I am nothing but consistent, I will tell you that. So this one I loved, especially because the first 2 books in this series, I did not get the hype. This is like the Dreamland Billionaire series that Lauren Asher wrote, and it's about like these guys who are descendants of like a Walt Disney copycat kind of guy. And it's one of those where when the grandfather died, he like wrote in his will that the only way the brothers could get their money is if they do like certain things. And I love it. It's more so like a small town romance and like a billionaire romance to me, so I think that's why I like this one more. He's going back to like the small town that they grew up in. They would like go to like for the summers, like a little lake house situation. I think he's going to like try and sell his grandfather's house, but then he discovers that his grandfather actually gave the house to his like childhood friend that he had like a falling out with. So he's like trying to convince her to sell the house, basically. So it's kind of like childhood friends to enemies to lovers, and the angst and the tension is so good. I like this one a lot. She's also a single mom in this one, so I'm keeping that as a 5 star for sure. I don't think it's 6 star, but 5 stars still really good. It's still, I think the thing with Lauren Asher books, specifically in this series, is they're a little bit too long in my personal taste, so I think that's why it's gonna stay a 5 instead of a 6. Okay, The Risk by S.T. Abbey. So this is the first book in the Mindfuck series. This one is a serial killer romance. So the female main character is a serial killer, and the male main character is actually the FBI agent who's investigating her case. So this is, I think it's like 5 books, and they're all like really short, and you read them like all together. This is just the first book that I gave 5 stars to, and I think this series as a whole I did really enjoy. However, I think it was also just like my mindset at the time. I think this was just a little bit too heavy for me. So it was like, I think after, like, once I went through the other books, I was kind of like, okay, this is a little bit much. This does get very graphic, so be sure you check trigger warnings here. But it's still a good time. Like, I just love this concept of like her being a serial killer and him being the FBI agent. If you're a Criminal Minds fan, this is right up your alley. So I think that's why I liked it. I don't know if I would still give it 5 stars today. I don't know, it is really good, and I feel like the series is one that should stand out amongst the rest just because of how unique it is. And it is super impactful, and it definitely like blurs the lines of like morally gray, if you will. So this one is really good. I think keeping it a 5 star is pretty safe. This next one you guys are probably sick and tired of me talking about, but I don't care. We have Anything Ray Touches by Holly Cast. I didn't realize how early in the year I read this book. I feel like that definitely shows that this book stood the test of time, because I still talk about this book to this day, and it's been almost a year. So that's how you know. This is definitely a 6 star read for me. I've talked about it before. This one deals with grief and trauma and 2 people that were suffering from different addictions as a result of a school shooting. So again, check trigger warnings. This does get very heavy, but I feel like Holly Cast is the expert at balancing heavy, deeper topics with the like funny, smutty rom-com vibe that we love. And it's just great. Like, these books are so healing to me. Like, I know I will keep coming back to these books again and again. I say these because there's 2 books. Fragments of Grace, the second book that came out later this year. That's also going to be a 6-star, so I guess we'll talk about both of them now. The second book follows the brother of the female main character in the first book. I've talked about these books before, so you can always go back to my previous videos if you want to learn more. But these, if you don't read anything else from this list, please read these 2. Please, I'm begging you. I feel like more people need to give this author love because she's just so great at what she does, and I love it. So these 2 are definitely on the 6-star list, 100%. Okay, this next one is definitely not a 5-star. I don't know why I put this on here. Nanny for the Neighbors by Lily Gold. This is a really great one if you're like a Why Choose fan. She has a bunch of them that kind of follow like a similar formula. 1 girl and 3 guys, and it's usually like guy friends who like share girls. It's like something that they do. So this particular one, they finds out that they're a dad. It's like baby dropped on a doorstep kind of situation, and they don't know what the heck they're doing. So their neighbor in the same apartment complex that they live in is going to be their nanny, and then they all, you know, start to develop feelings for her. Lily Gold is great at what she does, don't get me wrong. I love these books, especially this one. This one is my favorite. That I don't think I've read all of them, but of the ones that I've read, this one is the best in my opinion. But I feel like it's not good enough to really be on par with the other 5-star reads on this list. I think I'm going to move this one to a 4-star. Radiant Sin by Katie Robert. I know this is part of her like Greek mythology retelling series, but I don't even remember which one this is. That's pretty bad. Hold on, let me pull it up. Maybe this isn't a 5-star anymore. Oh, this is the one with Apollo and Cassandra. Okay. So Cassandra works for Apollo. I think she's like his secretary or something, or like assistant. And they have to do like a fake dating situation. This one was really good. It definitely surprised me because based on the premise, I didn't think I was gonna like this one very much. But I ended up really liking it. So I think that's why I give it a 5-star, because I was like, oh, this is a pleasant surprise. But I feel like now reflecting on it, I don't think it was that good. The fact that I had to look it up, I feel like since I didn't like immediately know what it was about, that makes me want to bring it down maybe. All right, next we have Bring Me Back by Kristen Granada. She's another one that I think should get more attention than what she gets, because she is very similar to Holly Cast in the sense that she is able to put a lot of like emotional, like mental health rep in her books without it being too heavy. And she balances it out with like really funny moments and really sweet and like steamy moments. So I like this one a lot. This one involves a cop and a romance author. It's like a dynamic duo, am I right? So this one definitely stays on the 5-star list for sure. It's not my favorite Kristen Granada book. There's one we'll talk about later that is definitely gonna be on the 6-star list. Spoiler alert. Mile High by Liz Tom Ford. Oh, this one took the world by storm this year, right? So did the second book, The Right Move. So we'll talk about both of them. The Right Move should be a 6-star book. Yeah, that, I'm sure you're not surprised. I feel like everybody put this book on their 6-star list. And I know this was a contender for the Goodreads Choice Awards too, because people just love Ryan Shea, and I'm one of those people. He's the perfect book boyfriend, and you can't tell me anything different. Mile High though, I did really like it, but I don't know if it's a 5-star. I think why I really connected with the female main character because she is plus size, and she obviously deals with some like body dysmorphia, like body positivity issues. So I did like that aspect of it. And I think the banter between these two is really funny because it's kind of like an enemies, well, maybe not enemies to lovers, like a hate to love situation, I guess. So this one is definitely fun. And of course he's a hockey player, she's a flight attendant. Like that was a fun dynamic as well. Maybe 4.5? We'll call it 4.5. Okay, this is freaking random. Beneath the Blindfold by Nikki Sloan. This is like a, aren't these like bonus epilogues or something? So Nikki Sloan has a series about a sex club. And I do love that series. I read those like years ago. I think this was like a bonus epilogue novella thing that she came out with. Why did I give this 5 stars? I couldn't tell you anything that happened in this book. Why did I give this 5 stars? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I must have liked it since I gave it a 5-star, but clearly it was not memorable enough So I don't know why I gave this a 5-star. I should probably honestly bump this down to like a 3 because I couldn't tell you a damn thing. Ooh, okay. What? Apparently I gave Heartless by Elsie Silver a 5-star rating. That doesn't make any sense because Flawless and Reckless are my favorites from that series, not Heartless. I did love Heartless. I did. It was really good. Why did I give this one a 5-star and not Flawless, the first book? I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. It should definitely be Flawless with a 5-star rating. Maybe even a 6-star. I do kind of want to reread Flawless now that I've read the whole series because Flawless was the first book. So I feel like my opinion of it will change now that I've read all the other books. So I don't know if I should put Flawless in the 6-star rating because I feel like it's not fresh enough in my mind. Why didn't I give it a 5-star? I don't understand. I'm so confused right now. Heartless, like I said, I really liked, but I am not going to leave this on my 5-star list. This is definitely going to be going down to a 4. Maybe 4.5. Now, Reckless, we'll go out of order here because I didn't read Reckless till later in the year, but Reckless, I loved it. I think Reckless or Flawless, I honestly need to reread Flawless to determine which one's going to be on my 6-star because I don't want to put both of them on there, but those were definitely my favorites of the series, so it's between one of them. Well, I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to reread Flawless to see if it stacks up, but Reckless, I think for now, just based on my memories, and it could just be because Reckless is fresher in my mind. Reckless was also a surprise pregnancy or like secret pregnancy, which I usually hate, but I devoured it and I was obsessed with Theo Silva. So yeah, apparently I'm a bull rider girl. I like Rhett and Theo. They're the bull riders of the series and their books are my favorite. So I think for now I'm gonna put Reckless as a 6-star because I definitely know it's like above the rest, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna reread Flawless and we'll see if I change my mind later. Okay, these next 3 were rereads. I reread this whole series, so I'm sure the other ones will come up as well. But we have A Stone in the Sea by A.L. Jackson, Drowning to Breathe, and Where Lightning Strikes. I actually have the whole series right here. This is my favorite series by A.L. Jackson. So those are like in a category all on their own. I'm not even going to put them in the 6-star category because they're just, they're their own entity that a rating isn't even like good enough to describe how much I love those books. That would probably be the series that I would want to be like put in my casket when I die. Okay. Ooh, this is fun. Okay, Lucy Score. We have Forever and Ever. Pretty much every book I've read by Lucy Score has been a 5-star, so let's just talk about all of them. We have Forever and Ever, we have Things We Never Got Over, Things We Hide from the Light, and Things We Left Behind. These also need to be put in my casket. Did you guys see they're making this into a TV show? Or is it a movie? I don't care. I don't care. I'm so excited. So Lucy Score writes amazing small town romances. Forever and Ever was a standalone that I read just to see like how I would feel about her writing style. She does write some chunky books. Like, look how thick this is. All of her books are like that. And I thought that would be a turnoff for me. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. I want more. I want more. So these are definitely 6-star. I'm obsessed. Like, these books like are part of my personality at this point, and you can't tell me any flaws about them. Like, I don't want to hear any criticism about these books because it's just gonna go in one ear, out the other. So, just letting you know. What is this? Once Upon a Dream by Sierra Simone. Isn't that another like bonus novella thing? I don't even remember. 3 modern fairy tale novellas. Music Box Girl, which is a 12 Dancing Princesses story, American Witch, A Princess and the Pea, and then Red and White, A Snow White and Rose Red. I don't remember these in the slightest. I kind of remember the 12 Dancing Princesses one. I don't remember liking it though. I said I remember the one with the ballerinas, but I kind of thought that one was creepy. Why is this fake? Did Goodreads like do me dirty and change my ratings without telling me? I don't remember these at all. This is definitely not a 5-star. Like, no. I love Sierra Simone, but these are not top tier Sierra Simone for me. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I was drunk. All right, moving along. Here's when I discovered Taylor Jenkins Reid. So we have Daisy Jones and the Six. We'll also talk about Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo because I read that one shortly thereafter. I also read Malibu Rising by her that I gave 5 stars. I've read a lot of Taylor Jenkins Reid books this year, and I think there was one that I gave 4 stars to. I think One True Loves I gave 4 stars, but the other books I've read, Malibu Rising, Daisy Jones and the Six, and Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, have all been 5-star reads. And I can tell you why they're all 5-star reads with the same sentence. Taylor Jenkins Reid knows how to write about fake people as if they're real. And she really just like sucks you in and makes it seem like these people are everything. You need to know every single detail about their lives, the nitty, the gritty, the good, the bad, the ugly. Like, I just want to know everything about her characters. I don't know how she does it. I don't know if I would put them in the 6-star category though. Daisy Jones and the Six, I am obsessed with the soundtrack. That one might be a 6-star. But Malibu Rising I also loved. I loved every single character. So I think those two are probably 6-star. I think Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo would stay a 5-star. Because I wasn't as upset. Like, I was obsessed, but I wasn't as obsessed. I sound insane right now. I can't believe I'm putting this on the internet. Okay. Okay, next I read a series by Candy Steiner, and it's all around like a whiskey distillery that they all work at. So 2 of them, I think there's 4 books total. The first 2 were really good, but I didn't give them 5 stars, but the second 2 I loved. Those are my favorites. So Manhattan and Old Fashioned by Candy Steiner. Manhattan is a Friends to Lovers, so that one was really cute. But Old Fashioned not only had a great romance with a single mom whose daughter's name is Paige, so like I love her. But it's also like a sports romance, which was like a nice touch. This one was definitely like a standout in the series for me. It talked a lot about like football and like gender equality. It shows the female main character like getting out of a toxic marriage. And I believe, oh yeah, the brother who this book is around, he was also the adopted brother. So I think that was a cool twist. And there's also this like overarching plot that goes throughout the whole book, so that gets like, the major plot twist gets summed up in this book. So I think that's also why this one stood out. So I think this one's gonna be a 6-star read because this book like lives rent-free in my brain. Whereas Manhattan, like I liked it because it was Friends to Lovers and it was really good. I liked the couple, but the book itself wasn't like top tier. So I think Old Fashioned is gonna go on the 6-star list for me. Okay, next up we have Unholy Sins by Elle Thorpe. I do have to look this up because the way that she writes her books is there'll be like, there's multiple series and each series has like 3 books in it. And they're all set in the same town, so it can be confusing to mix them up. Oh, this one is about a priest and a stripper. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And not only is he a priest, but he's like a morally gray priest. That's all I'm going to tell you because I don't want to spoil it. And then Lyric is a single mom and a stripper from the wrong side of the tracks. She's everything I swore not to touch. She's everything the predator inside me craves. The things we do together are sinful, but neither of us can stop. Ooh, this one's hot. This one's hot. Elle Thorpe knows what she's doing, okay? There's also like good plot to back it up. This isn't just pure smut. But I feel like I can't tell you the plot because this is like so far deep into her Saint View world that I feel like I'm going to spoil things if I talk about it. But just know, Elle Thorpe knows what she's doing. Okay, then we have, this was a novella that I gave 5 stars to, which I feel like says a lot. This was Major's Welcome Home by Tessa Bailey. So just like the title says, this guy is coming home from war and he doesn't really have like a family there to welcome him. So the sergeant in charge of the base that he is stationed at sends his daughter to pick him up and she gives him a great welcome home. This one was actually really sweet. It's actually a virgin male main character. She teaches him what he likes. I loved it. This is great. Okay, Grease Monkey by Barry Scott. This is another like underrated, definitely going on my 6-star. This is a second chance romance. And what I love about this book, and I think what sets it apart from other second chance romances, is that she shows you their full relationship, like when they were in high school and how it developed and came to be and the whirlwind that it was, the romance they had and how strong their bond is. And then it shows what happened to break them apart. And then it cuts to present time where they meet up again and she's engaged to somebody else. This one was so angsty, so angsty. This is just good shit right here. Like, this is what I want. Plus he's a mechanic, hence the name Grease Monkey. You need to read this. And I know she's like a newish author, so please give her some support. This is top tier second chance angst, and no one else can do it better. Ooh, we got Pucking Around by Emily Rath. I think I want to put this in the 6-star. I need to set this apart and give it a 6-star rating because I just love the representation she gives to different types of love. And I love the relationship dynamic that these characters have together. Like, it's like they each have their own like little relationship with each person, and they also do well like as a whole. Like, it's just so fascinating to me. And I just think that this author does a great job of making it seem so realistic, the way that they live together and the way that they're able to make this work as a functioning unit, instead of it just being like, oh, we just sleep together. You know what I mean? So I think that's why I need to set this one apart with a 6-star rating. Okay, I need to speed this up. We're halfway through, people. Okay, Mother's Day Inn by Lee, last name I don't know. This one was really good. Was it a 5-star? Probably not. I think I should move that down to a 4 because the main character is super sweet and super swoony, and it's a single mom, like reverse age gap situation. So it's really cute. It's really cute, but I don't know if I should give it a 5-star because I don't know how memorable it is in the long term. The Rogue of Fifth Avenue by Joanna Shoops. It's like the first historical romance that I've loved and that I've been obsessed with. So I love it. Just like the title says, it takes place in New York, Fifth Avenue, and he's a rogue, and she's trying to kind of like do some social justice things, and he is going to help her do so. And it's kind of like an enemies to lovers too, so their banter is my favorite part. I think that's what made this book so great, is their banter. Plus I love having a strong female main character that like knows what she wants in life, and even though this takes place in the past when women were more suppressed, she does a really great job of standing apart. I'm definitely going to go faster through the rest of this list because at this point I was filming booktube videos. These are the books I read in the month of May, and that was the first wrap-up that I ever did. So you can go back to my previous wrap-ups if you want more details about these books. So I think for the rest of them I'm just going to give like my reflections, if that's okay with you. That way you guys aren't here for an hour. Shatter Me. I need to read the rest of the series. I'm going to leave it as a 5-star. But I feel like I can't really say much else until I read the rest of the series. Stay tuned. I did really like it though. It definitely like scratched the dystopian young adult itch that I needed. Rewriter Story by Kat Singleton. This is going on the 6-star list. This book made me cry. I'm not saying that's like a super special feat or anything, but I feel like if a book makes me cry and I connect to the characters so strongly like I did in that book, like it's gotta be a 6-star. This is another one where it's like great emotions and great smut, and like that's all I need. That's all I need. Plus it takes place in a small town, on a farm. Okay, Paige, shut up. Go to the next book. I just want to keep telling you. I promise, I've talked about these books multiple times, so just go to my previous videos. I'll just link up above my playlist with all my wrap-ups in it, and that way you won't miss anything, okay? Okay, go fast. Give Me a Reason by A.L. Jackson. This was another reread, and it's great. You guys know, A.L. Jackson is like top tier everything. A Ship of Bones and Teeth by Karina Halley. That's also going on my 6-star list just because it's pirates, it's mermaids, it's dark romance. What more could I ask for, honestly? Do I Know You by Emily Wibberley and Austin Siegmund Roca. Okay, I've got both these books by this author duo. So we have The Roughest Draft and Do I Know You. I love these. They are definitely solid 5-star. This one is A Marriage in Trouble, which is one of my favorite tropes. And this couple, they go on like vacation together and they pretend like they're not married just to kind of like reignite the spark, and it's so good. I think what makes the book stand apart is the writing duo is a husband and wife pairing, and I just think that they capture it so well. You know what I mean? It's like a second chance romance between two people that used to write books together. They had a falling out and now their agents are making them get together again to write something new. This one has great tension and I love the flashback scenes. This one I think also shows great moments in marriage that I think are underrated. And what I love about these books as well is they don't hide behind a bunch of flashy tropes. It's just like real and raw relationship dynamics. So these are really great. The next 7 books are all together. So the Palm South University series by Candy Steiner. I read this in July and this totally like took up my whole reading month. I binged this series so hard. This is like the best TV drama, like college setting, toxic relationships, but like in the best way. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. This definitely needs to go in the 6-star rating because I feel like no books compare to this at all. Desire in the Deep Blue Sea by Olivia Date. This is actually a novella that I gave 5 stars. It's hard to get a complete romance in such a small page count, but Olivia Date did it right. It's one of those things where like he's been pining for her for a really long time, and then his feelings finally come to light, and it's just so sweet. Okay, Fluke by Adriana Locke. That's just one book from the series. I actually liked the series as a whole. I'm reading the new book that came out called Flame right now, and I'm liking it so far. Fluke, which one was that? Why did I pick this one to give a 5-star to? I don't remember. I think this is the Friends to Lovers one, probably. Yeah, Friends to Lovers, fake dating, forced proximity, yeah. All right, Pucking Wild by Emily Rath. That's another 5-star hockey romance that's kind of tied to Pucking Around that we talked about. I'm not going to give it a 6-star rating because to me it's not as strong. Probably because what sets the other book apart is the poly romance and that dynamic. And while I love the characters in Pucking Wild, I think there's such soulmates for sure. I'm pretty sure I talked about them in my soulmate romance video if you want to see that. So I definitely believe that they're soulmates, and this book was so well done. So it's definitely a 5-star. Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. This is so good, you guys. This is definitely a solid 5-star if you're looking for a small town cowboy romance. Lila Sage did it perfectly. This is also the brothers best friend trope, which is great. Okay, then we have The Good Girl by Nikki Sloan. Oh, this one was so good. And this one really surprised me because I thought this was just gonna be like your standard run-of-the-mill, like, oh, I'm the innocent girl and he's the bad boy, whatever. No, like this was so good. I connected so much with the female main character, like just the way that she cares so much about like pleasing other people. I'm a recovering people pleaser over here, so like, yes, sign me up. And seeing the character development of the male main character from the other books in the series to this one was so remarkable. So this is definitely, I don't know if it's a 6-star though. It definitely could be. It definitely could be. So we'll see. I'll like highlight it on my list for now and I can come back to it later. Okay. One Last Shot by Nikki Castle. This is the book that made me want to make a 6-star category because when I read this book, I have such a deep personal connection to this book that I don't think I will ever be able to convey to you. I will purchase every copy of this book that ever gets released. I go back to it very often. This book had me crying, like sobbing, screaming, laughing, swooning, kicking my feet. Like, this book is everything to me. And if I think about it too much, like I get emotional, honestly. So this is definitely getting a 6-star rating because this book needs higher than 5 stars. It just needs it. Okay, next 5-star read was Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I really loved it. It was everything. It was everything. And because of how overhyped this book was, the fact that it lived up to that is pretty phenomenal. So I'm gonna give it a 6-star rating. Spinning Out by Lexi Ryan. This one was so good. This is like a forbidden romance where she used to date his best friend. Yeah, it goes really deep, you guys. Like, this is for forbidden and taboo on a whole new level, and I loved it. I loved every second of it. I don't know if it should be a 6-star. It definitely could be. Hollow's Grove by Lee whatever. This is a great Halloween novella. This is like what Halloween novella dreams are made of. This one definitely stands out to me. She was able to show that the characters like have history together. There's great banter, there's great spicy scenes, there's great humor, and there's like a sweet romance in the end. It was great. It was great. It delivered on everything. Don't Forget Me Tomorrow by A.L. Jackson. This is definitely a heavy hitter. This was a great 5-star read for me because this was a new A.L. Jackson book and it still lived up to what I like of her old books. So this is definitely a solid choice for 5 stars. Odd Man Rush by Kristen Granada. I talked about this author earlier. This is my favorite book by her. This is 6 stars, 100%. This is another poly romance situation and it's like Friends to Lovers times 2, 3, because there's 3 of them that were best friends. And it's like they each get together at different points and then they all end up together in the end. This also has great LGBTQ plus representation, which I love. Catch Me When I Fall by A.L. Jackson is another reread. That's a 5-star, 100%. An oldie but a goodie. The Dugout by Megan Quinn, that was another reread. That was another solid 5-star. I didn't realize how many books I reread. I reread books a lot. I'm a big nostalgia girly, so it works for me. This is another Halloween novella that I read, No Place to Hide by Harper Ashley and Ren Hawthorne. This one was really good, but like comparing it to Hollow's Grove, I think that one was stronger, so I think this one I'm gonna move down to a 4. Okay, next up we have the duet by Karina Halley about Sleepy Hollow, or it's like a Sleepy Hollow retelling. And this was another one where like it was hard for me to decide what rating I was gonna give it, but I think because of how well she did this and just how unique it is, like it deserves 5 stars. Like she put so much work into this series and you can tell. Like it's amazing. For my personal taste, I don't think I'm gonna give it a 6 star just because it definitely is like very spooky, like scary. Which is a little bit much for me. Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver. I love this book so much. This is definitely going to be a 6-star read. I think about this book all the time. I'm going to make my husband read it too, so stay tuned for that video. It's a serial killer romance, but it's like funny in a way that's not cheesy. And it's also sexy. I don't know. She puts magic in there. I don't know what to tell you. Alive and Wells by Bailey Hannah. I think this is definitely going on my 6-star list. This is a debut author as well, and she blew me away. Like Elsie Silver who? Lila Sage who? She stepped way above the rest, and it was really well done. Really well done. Dom by S.J. Tilley. I did my book club with Katie about this. It was so much fun. Dom is so unhinged. He's so unhinged. I originally gave this a 4-star rating, but upon reflection, I changed it to a 5-star just because like I had such a good time, and like I'm not gonna sit there and like be judgy of myself like, oh, like you're the one to give this book a 5-star, because he does some questionable things. I will say, like if a man did these things to me in real life, I will be pissed and I would not support him. But I don't know, S.J. Tilley just made it, she made it work. She made it work, and I'm obsessed with him. I would probably do anything for this man. My husband also read this and he liked it, so I feel like that's how you know that it was actually really good, you guys. This one was a last minute entry. I literally just finished this book the other day. This is a novella by Candy Steiner called The Christmas Blanket. This was so good. I honestly might give it a 6-star just because this is everything I need. When I say I love second chance romance, like this book is why. This is a divorced couple that gets snowed in after years apart, and they kind of have to come to terms with what split them up. You guys, this was everything. This was everything. And if you know, if you watched my last wrap up, I've been in a slump, so this book saved me from my slump. Thank God. Thank God. And then we've got the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. You guys know I've been obsessed with it. I'm just gonna hold up a random one. I haven't even read this one yet, but we're just gonna hold up. I'm going through this series slowly but surely. It's got me hooked. Like this series as a whole is going on my 6-star. Like it has to. Like even though I didn't start reading this series until November, I feel like it has consumed me. It has consumed me, and it's all I can think about. I had a really great year of reading, and I'm really glad that I did this because it really helped me kind of reflect on all the books that I loved this year. And no pressure on 2024, but like you got some big shoes to fill, so I hope you're ready. I hope this video wasn't too terribly long. I appreciate you guys sticking with me while I did like an audit of all of my 5-star reads from the year. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below telling me some of your 5-star reads from the year. Tell me if there are any that you think are missing from this list that I can be sure to put on my 2024 TBR to see if it's there next year. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss my future videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye.